Hello and welcome to today's training video. My name is Akintunde Felix, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about the top three mistakes that you're currently doing that is wasting you a lot of money in your advertising campaign. So, as a business owner, as much as possible, you want to spend a lot of money on advertising and also get a lot of money in as your returns. But while spending, you also need to be conscious there are some little mistakes you do that is going to waste you a lot of money. So I'm going to break each and every one of it down today. So let's pick number one. For number one, we're going to be talking about conversion system, not using a conversion system. What do I mean by a conversion system? I have seen businesses that just run campaigns, advertising campaigns from either be it Facebook, be it Google, where they just send people down to their website for people to just come in and see what their website is about. It's an ancient way of running campaigns. It's an ancient way of running ads because on your website there's a lot of distractions. On your website you'll be seeing a lot of things, your sliders, your menus. They can go to your about us. From there they can see a link that send them to your Facebook page to like. Then from there, once they go from your website to your Facebook page, then suddenly maybe the friends just send them a message. You've lost that potential customers. So one of the new ways to run your ad now is to build a conversion system, whereas you've eliminated all those distractions and you're basically telling them this is what you do, this is your offer, this is how they can get it. In the conversion system, number one, you basically just have a blank page like this, just a blank page like this. The box that just let's say that has an headline that says we sell cars. Come and buy cars from us at a discount price. You can pay in installments. Blah blah blah. That's your headline. Then from there, you can then talk about. You can have an image. You can have a video that's showcasing your what you sell. You can have a video showcasing what you sell. You can have more text that says, okay, uh, this is what we sell, and this is what we're going to be offering you, and the likes. Then you can also have testimonials on that same page. It's just a single page. Then, apart from your testimonials, you can also have a guarantee. The guarantees that says, okay, if you buy a product and it doesn't work for you, you're free to return it and the whole likes. Then apart from the guarantee, you are also having the most important thing, the call to action. The call to action is where you tell them, after all these things, call us. A single page that tells them that. That's not just in a conversion system. This is your sales page. This is what I just described here is your sales page. The conversion system, you can have other pages like an opt-in page where they fill in their email, they fill in their name before they get to this particular page, your sales page. So you can also there are different conversion systems that you can use depending on your business. So it's very important you start using a modern way of advertising. You set up a conversion system and you bring your customers down, your potential customers down here. So if you're still running ads, you spend a lot of money on ads. Let's assume, for instance, now you spend $1,000 on ads on a month, and you're sending them to your website. Let's assume you're getting 2% conversion rate, which means at 1,000 people that comes to your website, 20 people are buying whatever you are offering. That's the old way you're currently doing. I can bet you if you use a proper conversion sales system, it will move from 2% to 5% or even more than that, depending on what you're offering. So it's very important that as a business owner, you need to set up a conversion system, a sales system that could help you sell your business quickly. Let's talk about number two. In number two, I'm going to be talking about research. Research. Most people don't know this. One of the most important things when it comes to the market, when it comes to advertising, is research. I have seen campaigns that have been done that I know that this particular person didn't research properly. Because if you research properly, you will know the kind of the age range of your potential customers. You're going to know, are they mostly females or are they males? Or are you going to have informations like when you're research. When you're researching, you're going to know what their age is like. You're going to know what your customers like. You're going to know, are they mostly male or are they female or are they both? If they are mostly males, for instance, then are they mostly married or they are single? If they are mostly married, you can know, okay, my customers are mostly married people. What's their age range like? Age range maybe 30 to, let's say, 55. You can also know from your research, you can know, okay, which website do they visit? If you look at it and you say, okay, let's take for instance our car headline that we started with. Let's assume we are looking at age of 30 upward 30 to 55 for the car. We're looking at both. Let's say we are looking at both. Let's say we are looking at both married and single, it really doesn't matter. I say, okay, where do they go to where they buy cars and the likes? You say, okay, maybe they go to Car Bazaar, maybe they go to Gigi. You need to understand what goes on in their mind. Okay, what kind of car do they buy most? What kind of, why is the reason why they buy these cars? Very important. From your research, you're going to understand their why. Why are they buying this kind of cars? If they're buying Toyota, why are they buying Toyota? Is it because they can't afford to buy something more than Toyota? Is it because they're trying to cut costs? Is it You've got to understand this thing. So it's very important you do a lot of research. A lot of research. It's very, very important. Most times when we attend to clients, we spend most of our times on research. We do a lot of research for them before you set up a campaign. So it's very important. You don't just okay, want to set up a campaign and boom, you're onto your advertising platform. You're just picking whatever you want to pick. You just pick okay. Let's advertise to everybody. Everybody is not your customer. You need to understand that when it comes to advertising, everybody is not your customer. Your customers are just some specific segment of people within every everybody on that platform. Because with your research, if this is everybody on Facebook, let's say this is everybody on Facebook, with your research, you'll be able to know this particular segment of people are my customers, are your customers. So it's very important to do a lot of research. So in this video, I'm going to be dropping documents. Somewhere it should be somewhere within the page, where it's going to be like a mini version of the one we use in that my team and I use to do research for our clients. But that should be enough for you to have an overview of how you can do your research. So for the next one, we're going to be talking about split testing. What does split testing means? Split testing basically means you are testing various angles, various variations, various copies, various pages against one another. What do I mean by that? Let's assume, for instance, now you're running a Facebook campaign and that campaign is doing very well for you, it's doing excellently well. But inside that ad set, this is a This is a campaign. This is a Facebook campaign. Inside the ad set, inside the ad set, you have just let's say you have one ad. When it comes to split testing, you should be having you should be having two two or more ad sets. You should be having more than one ads so that so that you can easily know which angle is converting. If you start testing and you have, okay, let's say ad set one is doing very well, ad set two is not doing very well, then ad set three is doing moderately well, then asset 4 also moderately well, then asset 5 is not even doing well at all. So you basically know, okay, your asset 2 and asset 5 is not doing very well. What do? You cut those ones out. You create another angle. So you need to split test. While you are split testing inside your ads, you look at how many images is this image working well. Let's assume for your cars, for instance, now, let's say your real estate property, you're testing from, you take a picture of the property, of the land or of the house. You should now be testing that particular picture against a video. You can be testing it against a testimonial. You can be testing different angles against an headline. It can be, this headline says buy your car here. Another headline says get this offer. Another headline says contact us. So you are testing the three of them. You'll be able to know, okay, this one is doing very well. Don't focus all your energy on one ad set. It's very wrong. It's one of the ways you are burning money. Because why? If you believe this ad set is doing very well and you just focus on it alone, imagine if you were doing doing two or three or more other ad sets. You'll be surprised that you might find this one will do better than the one you think is doing very well for you. So it's very important. One of the ways you're wasting a lot of money is if you are not split testing your campaigns. So split test your campaigns. So let's pick another one. Tracking. As an advertiser, it's very important that you know where your customers are at every given point in time in your sales system. When I mean where your customers are, let's assume I have a sales system like this. From ads, when I mean ads, it could be Google, it could be Facebook, Instagram, whichever one, it doesn't matter. Then for my ads, I send them to, let's say, an article, a blog post. Let's say a blog post. Then from that blog post, they are being sent to our sales page. Then from the sales page, they can pay with Paystack, they can pay with Paystack, and or they are doing bank transfer. But after all the bank transfer, there is a particular page that says what? Thank you. This thank you page, for instance, you can have on this thank you page, for instance, you can have something telling them thank you for buying and the likes. Then maybe after the thank you page, you can have upsells. When I mean upsells, I mean you've sold one product for them here. Here you are telling them buy another one. Why? Because someone who was just paid the product now, there's a probability the person will have one or other things. You have another thing on your store that correlates with this particular product. What do I mean by that? We are selling a car, for instance. Now, the person just let's say just book an appointment, or let's just not use car. Most people don't really buy car with credit card. Let's use let's use a book, for instance. We have a video course program that you just sold. or an e-commerce product that you're just selling. And the product, after they bought the product, you inform them thank you. Then they come to your page and you tell them, would you like to add this one to it? And then most of you would have seen such a thing like this in maybe if you go to Amazon, Jumia, and the likes, where you will buy a particular book or a particular item, and after the thank you page, they tell you, would you like to add this product and this product, or they will tell you, so a lot of customers added this product to the one that they bought. So I'll be explaining this maybe in subsequent videos in system subsequent video, but I just want to tell you about the mistakes. So when it comes to tracking, you need to be able to understand that you need to know how many set of people visited from year to year to year to year to year. Tracking will be able to allow you to do that. And there are different ways you can track. There's the Facebook pixel, there's analytics, Google Analytics, there's Google Analytics. There are other subsequent ones, but these are the most two popular ones I use and I recommend: Facebook Pixel and Google Analytics. So with it, you'll be able to know, okay, our advert sends 1,000 people to our blog post. The advert sends 1,000 people to our blog post. But from the blog post, let's say 400 visited our sales page. Then from the 400, let's say at 10% conversion, let's just do 10%, which is high. Let's say 40 people bought. So 40 people went from here down here. That's you got 40 people. So from this 40, let's now assume 4 people took the upsells. You'll be able to know all this data. It's very, very important because you'll be able to figure out where you're having issues with your campaign and which one you need to work on. So it's very important that you set up tracking for your campaign. So in case you're jotting that down. So for the fifth one, we're gonna be talking about remarketing, or some people know it as retargeting. But I personally call it the omnipresence. Omnipresence. So what does this basically mean? What does this basically mean? It means every single person that visited your website, every single person that visited your sales system, every single person that went from your ads to your blog post, your sales page, thank you, to your upsells, every single person, you need to be able to set up campaign to engage them in case they did not come down here. Why? Look at this, for instance. When we set up our tracking in, let's say, in 4, our ads, we got 1,000 people to go to our blog post. But from this 1,000, only 400 visited this page. That means 600 people didn't visit. Let's assume the 600 people are not interested. But we got 400 people. Why is it that only 40 people bought? Most business owners, most companies that we've consulted for are usually after, let us get sales quickly, let them buy quickly, let them buy. No, your sales will mostly come from remarketing, re-engaging them. And when you do that, you will be able to sell more. So when you set up remarketing, for remarketing, it means you're setting up different campaigns for people who visited these particular pages. People who visited these particular pages, that people who visited your blog post or your whatever how your system is, but didn't take a particular action. That's what remarketing is about. People who visited your particular page but didn't take an action. So you need to re-engage them. You need to tell them. You need to set up campaigns that tell them, okay, is there a problem? Are you having issues with our payment method? Is it that our pricing? You just need to just try and talk to them again. Just let them know. Keep seeing your ads everywhere. That's why I call it omnipresence. If I set up an ad for clients most times it's very the most important thing we do mostly is our omnipresence ad, our omnipresence ad, because we have to be following you up and down. I know most of you would have seen this before. When I mean before, I mean, let's assume, okay, if you go to GG, Jumia, and the likes now, for instance, you will notice you visited there, but you decided, okay, I like this shoe, but I don't have money now. Maybe at the end of the month, I will have money. You left Jumia, you got back to maybe Facebook or Instagram where you saw the ads before. You will start noticing that every single day you'll be seeing Jumia ads, GG ads, Jumia ads. Every single day you continue seeing it till you're like, what happened? I'm only seeing this ad, I'm only seeing this ad. Why? It's because they set up what? The marketing. It's very important as a business owner, as a company, that you have a marketing campaign for people who come and visit you, from people who come want to buy from you, because it's very important that you set this up. So those are the five basic mistakes that you can make that is going to cost you a lot of money when it comes to setting up your advertising. In subsequent videos, I'm going to be talking about each and every one of them later on. But if you have any question concerning this video, as usual, feel free to drop a comment, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell. If you're on Facebook, like my page. If you're on Instagram, follow me. If you're on Twitter, follow me. If you're on LinkedIn, follow me. And I'm on Medium also, across all platforms. My name is Akintunde Felix. I will see you on the next video.